Okay, let's see. Maybe I should go to YouTube. Let's try going to YouTube. YouTube. Oh, let me okay. Oh, let me put it on mute for now. It's still picking up though. They didn't mute the mic on here. Like that? Maybe. Okay. I guess this join. Click to show. There we go. Show on stream. Okay. Put it on mute for now. Can you? Oh shit. Still picking up. Can you hear me? It didn't mute the. Can you hear me? I can't hear you. I guess it's join. Hide on stream. Okay, let me see. There we go. Show on stream. Oh, bet. Okay. All right. All right. This is trippy. All right. Can you? Oh shit. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Okay, I know what I gotta do. First off, let me get out of here because this thing is annoying. Cause I keep hearing. Okay. 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 Let's do like this. Let's take this and do like this. Can I? Oh no. Okay. No. Take this video. Okay. I think I can hear you.
Can you hear me?
There we go. I can hear you now. Okay. Wow. I'm still. What just happened? Okay. There we go. I'm still learning this thing right here. Can you see it?
What is this?
It's called Streamlabs. It's like what streamers use whenever they're going live or doing games or whatever the case. Hmm. Okay. 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 This is pretty cool. And we're actually live right now, so this is
So is it streaming to YouTube?
yeah.
Can you see it then?
Yeah, you could go to YouTube and see it. So is it showing up on your screen like how it's on mine? Like you see like the square and the I guess the boxes at the bottom. Okay. Okay. Okay.
Well, this is cool. How'd you find it?
So I was watching a live the other day, and I was just like, how do they do that? Like, cause they had like the background, and then they had them on the screen, and I was like, that's cool. I want to know how to do that. So I just Googled how to how to change your background in a live, like Zoom call or whatever, and I found a YouTube video, and then I found this link and started playing with it. Hmm. Okay. Okay. Okay, it's 4:35. We are up, I believe. Let me go to YouTube to make sure.
That's what I'm trying to do.
Trying to do the same. Oh, here you go. Starting some. To watching. I'm just gonna mute it. Cause it's a crazy delay on here, so I'm just gonna mute it. There we go.
Delay between us or
Hmm?
the delay between us speaking or
On YouTube, yeah, it's a delay between like YouTube. If you go and watch it right now, it's so far behind.
oh really? Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, what is it under? Why can't I find
Try using the link that I sent you.
um that that my phone is right here. I'm on my tablet.
Mm. You on your tablet right now? Oh.
Right here.
Oh, okay. I was about to say. The phone quality is pretty good though. This is really good. Maybe you go right here. I think you go right here. Cause it's just I don't like just that white space. It's just there. Oh no! What happened? No! Come back! What happened? Okay.
Hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know what's happening.
Me neither. This thing is. We're doing new stuff right now.
Always something technical going on.
I swear, it's always something technical.
Always.
Okay. I think that's good. That's okay. I think that's good. Okay. We're all set, we're ready, got everything going. All right. This is just the first phase of many, so, you know, as always,
Right.
we're going to rock it out.
Tried so many different platforms.
Yeah. It's a lot to keep up with. It's a lot to keep up with sometimes.
It is. There's so many.
And then just when you think you got it figured out, something new shows up.
Right.
All right, I gotta send this message out to some people who said they would attend. So let's. How you doing today?
I'm doing great. I have been in my artistic bag past, um, feeling really good about that.
Okay, okay. Are we gonna be able to see the new Empathy Empire logo?
Um, yeah, I guess so. Uh,
There's one. Send it out to the fam. Okay, I think that was it. Yep. All right. I see. Hello. Got one. All right. So it's
So can
4:30.
you see? I can't get it on my tablet. Sorry, on the YouTube.
Say what?
I said I can't get it on the tablet. So
Hmm. Well, that's fine. It should be fine for now. Um,
right.
we'll work through those technical difficulties as we go throughout the day, throughout the show, or whatever. So welcome back. We're live. We're here with another. Oh yeah. So I was thinking of some names, and I decided to name this the present moment.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
That was dope.
Say that again.
I said that's perfect.
Yeah. Honestly, I feel like
That's
it's
what it's all about.
exactly everything that we do and everything that we talk about is based on being present. And the narrative is to be in this moment right here, right now, not worrying about what happened or what's gonna happen. Just be here, be now, be present. And that's really the key to unlocking like the success that you're really looking for is really presence or being present.
Yep.
So yeah, we're back with another present moment. This may be the first. We'll see how this goes. I'm really playing around with some names right now. I think the present moment is pretty cool. I did my research to make sure that it wasn't taken, and I see it nowhere. So I'm just like, okay, this may be the one. So we can do our introductions real quick. I'm Paula Zay Anthony. I am the founder and CEO of In My Purpose LLC. And here at In My Purpose, we basically help you to become the greatest version of yourself using different tips, tools, and techniques pertaining to mindset because your mindset is the first business you ever build, and we help you to build it greatly.
And I'm Alicia. I am the creator of Empathy Empire, where we just focus on people with self love and self esteem so that they can learn to shine their light, help co create in this loving experience.
Mm, awesome, awesome. So we're gonna, without further ado, get right into it. Um, making sure everything's good. Okay. So, what are we going to talk about today? First off, how was your week?
I'm not gonna lie, it was a little up and down.
Hmm?
It was a little up and down. Work was like,
Yeah, my week was eventful, I would say. Really, I'm just getting back because, military, I'm in the military, and we do this thing called annual training once a year for 2 weeks. And when you're away for that long, you really get a different introspection. Um, different introspection. I think I'm using that word right. But it was very interesting. I really got to connect with a lot of my peoples on a deeper level. I got to figure out more about myself on a deeper level as well because of everything that was going on. Um, and there's some lessons that we're going to be talking about today that I did extract from these 2 weeks. But all in all, I feel like this whole week has been a week of renewal, I would say. Um, it's been very necessary. Everything that's happened up to this point has been very necessary and conducive to my growth. It's allowed me to tap in to my higher being on a different level too. So I'm excited about what's to come in this newfound week from this week. So yeah, it's been awesome. It's been awesome.
So,
Yeah, it was the midst of it. And in the process I was still like trying to like, okay, I gotta come up with a plan for whenever I'm done with these 2 weeks on boom, 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 how we're gonna move next. So you honestly you text me at the right time because I was literally like in the process of contemplating a plan, and then when you when you hit me like, hey yo, let's let's pull something together, I was like, perfect. This is right on time.
fine timing, right? Every
Divine
time.
mm, divine timing. Hey, divine timing is real. Um, divine timing is real. That kind of talks about what we're gonna talk about today too, because I feel like I feel like I'm just gonna start off. I feel like when you understand divine timing, there's really no need for patience, if that makes sense. Because it's not to say that you don't need to be patient, but when you understand
Mm-hmm.
divine timing, it's just like you already know that everything is happening as it should. So it's almost like a natural state of being. It's just something that's just innate. You know what I mean? Like you don't need to practice being patient, or you don't need to feel like you're in a rush, or you don't even need to feel like you necessarily need to take it slow. You know that everything is happening as it should. Like um I kind of caught a glimpse of that throughout this entire week. Like last week, like I told you, everything just seemed to be happening at the right time, and I just so happened to be in right places at the right time, and it wasn't like coincidental. It just felt like, wow, this was exactly everything that I did had led up to this point for me to be in this position. And honestly, a lot of the things that I witnessed were things that I was speaking about. So the power of the tongue is mighty, and the things that you speak about literally come into fruition, and which puts you in that divine alignment, right? So
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna ask you, what are some things you notice, like that put you in the mindset of, okay, this must be divine timing? Like, did you notice that throughout your week, or just in general? How's divine timing showed up for you?
where I ask.
Yeah, that's powerful. That's really powerful. And I mean, to just have the awareness in itself is a statement, a testament. And I feel like a lot of us don't really live life with that sense of self awareness. You know, especially like in your earlier years, if you like you're along your earlier spiritual journey. I know
Yeah.
for me, it took a while for me to actually be aware of a lot of the things that was going on because it was like if they were just happening, but I couldn't identify when, where, and how they were happening. But
Mm-hmm.
it just happened over time, like the repetitiveness of everything that was happening and that divineness. I started to notice it, and then I started to realize, okay, the reasons behind why this was happening because something that I did previously set me up for that moment. And now I feel like now there's just this like intuition that's just going around. That's just this innate knowing. Like I feel like we're stepping
Yeah.
into a a new way of just being naturally. And I feel like
Sure.
everybody is understanding themselves more, which helps to raise the frequency all around. And then everybody else starts to pick up on that same frequency. And now everybody else is on this self awareness. And it happens like this when like minds connect. And then next thing you know, they're affecting the masses. And now everybody is thinking on this higher level. Um, that's really important. I feel like that's really important and really powerful.
So important.
I don't take the things that we do lightly. I feel like the things that we do and the things we talk about are really crucial and really important to the masses because it's this is how it starts, right? It starts with conversations like these. It starts in rooms like these, and then it spreads abroad. And I've said that before, and I will continue to say that because I think of us mightily. Like I think of myself highly. Even on the days where I may feel doubt, I still think of myself in a high, in a higher way. And I think
Yep.
about the things that we're doing like this in a higher way because how many people are actually really doing this? I mean,
Not as
granted,
many as we think.
mm,
A lot, but not as.
facts. It's not. I mean, if you're in it and you see it all the time, you will think like, oh wow, this is just you see this every day. Maybe everybody else is
Exactly.
already aware, but then you go out and you conversate and you realize, wow, a lot of people aren't really that aware, right?
No idea.
it, it's kind of scary to
That's so. That's so. That's why I know these things.
mm, facts.
And these are so fun. I just have
Yeah, man. These conversations are fun. Like honestly, like they're not really had a lot. So I think that's what makes them really exciting and fun because we know like the conversations can get deeper, but for the sake of the ones that are watching, this is the level that I feel like everybody needs to really get an understanding of before taking it to that next level, so to speak. Um,
it's steps. There's steps to it.
mm,
Sure. Layers you gotta.
mm, that's a fact. There's layers to this. There's levels to this. There's levels to this. And I will say this: you'll never realize what level you're on until you meet with certain people, and then they kind of just they recognize the level that you're on, even if you don't recognize it yourself, and they let you be aware of it, right? And they bring awareness to you, like, oh wow, I didn't know that. I thought this was normal, right?
That is so real. That's
Yeah.
why this conversation is so important.
Mm.
Because sometimes going on it's really lonely. And then people around you aren't talking about having a hard time.
Nah, that's facts for real. Cause I was talking to somebody the other day, right, and they brought a lot of awareness to me. This was during those 2 weeks I was at AT, and we were just talking, right? Because he was saying how he wants to really switch up his circle because he noticed that a lot of things that his circle does is not conducive to his growth, and now he's coming into he's in the beginning stages of becoming aware. Like he's starting to like ask questions like, oh, man, something's not right. You know that beginning stage where you're like you starting to see things different. Yeah, for real. So it was like he was like, man, I've been really wanting to like switch up my circle group. And we were just talking, and I was just telling him things that I recognized about him. And he was like, dang, how'd you know that? Like, did I tell you that? And I was like, nah, I just picked up on the energy that you was emitting, and I can tell like where you are. And it made sense. And then that moment I realized like, you know what? I remember being like that like 5, 6 years ago. I remember being just like that. Like wanting to do something different, but not really understanding how to get there. Right.
Yep.
So,
Mm-hmm.
and I know that you're still new on your journey, right? And things like that. But have you found any revelations like that in your life that made you realize or brought awareness to you like um maybe like the people you were talking to or your friend group, maybe they were extensions of you? Like, what evidence did you find that let you realize, like, okay, something's shifted?
It's been beautiful, beautiful moments where it caught my attention.
Mm, that's dope. That's dope. Yeah. I will say this, right? There is, like you said before, there is a shift going on. And I made a video about this a couple days ago. I think it was yesterday, actually. And I was saying like, yo, there is something different like happening right now, and I noticed it. Even when I was away and then I came back, it was like it just felt different, felt renewed, felt like opportunities were just more present than they once were. And it's like, okay, when you feel these type of things, right, and you feel this type of energy and you feel it like surging through you. You know it, and it's like, what do you do about that? Like, how do you go about channeling this newfound like energy that is just growing through you?
How do I personally?
Yeah. I had to mute it
No.
because it's like it's feedback for some reason. But yeah, so for me, I do have a ritual that I practice, and I stick to it. And I've noticed that it kind of evolved a little bit now because I've been doing it for so long.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I wake up at a certain time now, and honestly, it's to the point that I don't even really need to set a timer. Like I wake up at like 6:30, 6:38, or something like that. And every morning I always say, like, whether it be out loud or in my own mind, I'll say thank you. That's the first thing. I give thanks because, I woke up to another day. And that means I got another opportunity, another chance to be great again. So I start my day with that. I may go outside, I may greet the sun, I may do some meditations. And honestly, I feel like the meditations for me have been um deeper, if that makes sense. Like I feel like I'm tapping into like a deeper source within me that I've never tapped into before. And
Mm-hmm.
it's been enlightening, I'll say. Like it's been very, very enlightening. And I think it's just due to the fact that I've been doing this consistently for so long that it's only a matter of time before you quote unquote strike gold. It's like if you're digging a hole and you keep on digging, the more you dig, the deeper you get. I feel like that's just the level I'm on right now, and I'll do that. I'll do my meditations for about 10, maybe 20 minutes. I usually do 10 because I feel like that's enough. And then I'll get into, moving my body, doing yoga, exercising, lifting weights, stuff like that, because I feel like I've done the exercise for my spirit. Now it's time to do the exercise for my body. And it's a wonderful process. And I feel like as we get older too, we need to have more understanding of our body and how it operates, right? The things you need to put in it, the things you may need to take away from it, right?
Yep.
And so I'll do that. Then I'll get into some journaling. Then I'll do some reading, because then that's exercising my mind. So it's like I'm
Yep.
exercising my spirit, I'm exercising my body, and then I'm
Body.
exercising my mind too as well. So it's a whole process, and I truly enjoy it. I truly enjoy it, and it brings me so much peace and clarity, because I know for a fact, I've said this before, that no matter how my day may go, I always know I started it off right. Even if it doesn't end the way I wanted it to, or even if it doesn't go the way I intended it to, I know that I
Mm-hmm.
set the right intentions first and foremost in the morning.
You did say that.
Mm-hmm. Powerful. And you know what? That kind of brings me. I ain't gonna lie. I had notes, but it's like they're kind of They're a little bit everywhere. I ain't gonna lie. So I was trying to pinpoint where to start,
I mean,
but
our conversations are usually we always end conversations flow.
it's a fact. That's a fact.
So
You're right about that. So honestly, these are just points to just, I guess, for the sake of time, just to kind of keep on track or whatever the case is. But the thing is that I like the most is how powerful our thoughts are, right? All of this kind of brings that back to this point, how powerful our thoughts are. And I feel like um, we, and especially this is the times I feel like we're in, right? Where our thoughts are literally our new currency now, right? Um, I was watching a video the other day. Say that again.
sorry.
Nah, facts. Nah, it's a fact because our thoughts are the new currency. Because at one point I was listening to a video, and a guy by the name of Reverend Ike, if you ever heard of him, he was saying like, there was a time where we were just taught how to work physically, right? But we never were taught how to use our minds. And I feel like now we're in a stage where we're learning how to use our minds, and now our brain power and our mind is the new currency. Like the way that we think, our thought processes, our systems, our formulas, they're all unique, and we're able to take those things and compartmentalize them and then turn them into something that a lot of people can digest, because I feel like that's the state we're in right now. We really need to get our minds together. We need to get our minds straight, because the thing is our thoughts have such an impact on our everyday lives, and we haven't noticed it for so long because we've just been persuaded and swayed in different directions on how to think, that we never really had our own independent thinking. So now that we've gained a level of understanding, a level of consciousness, now we need to take it further, and now we really need to start creating our realities through our words and through our thoughts, and which creates the actions. And so when you think thoughts that you haven't practiced resistance on, that's when things start to come a little more easier, because we're trying to operate on a certain level of thinking that we haven't thought before. And so there's a little bit of resistance because these are things that are still new to us. But if we operate on a level that the thoughts that we have are least resistant, or if we're operating on less resistant thoughts, then that is what allows us to create and manifest at such a high rate. So where do you see yourself whenever you're thinking and whenever you're having thoughts, or whenever you're just conversating, you're by yourself? Where do you see your thoughts going, or how do you see your thoughts creating your reality? And what are some things you feel like you still need to work on and still need to overcome?
Um, where I struggle.
Nah, that's a fact. That is a fact. Um, real quick, we're gonna put a pin in this conversation real quick. We're having some technical difficulties.
Oh no,
Apparently, we can't hear you on the live on YouTube. So,
you can't hear me.
yeah, no, we can't hear
Oh.
you for some reason. So, okay, I think we got it resolved. Um,
Oh well.
hold on one sec. All right, I think we got it resolved. We can hear you now. Okay. Woo, technology, ain't
Okay,
it great?
I know.
Golly. Okay.
Always.
It's not. We still got some we got some new toys that we're playing with, so we're still trying to figure it out. Um, but this is fun, right? This is just in the gym. We in the gym.
No, always. I'm always having great.
Mm. So what you said was so powerful. And that kind of talks about the divine timing as well, because everything is always happening as it should. Like you said, you met that guy, you were just going into Home Depot, and it was just the timing was just right. Everything just
It was so
aligned just right.
It was crazy. Like it in that.
Oh, you would have had a mess on your hands. Oh goodness. Um, but yeah, but yeah. So yeah. That's powerful. Let me tell you. I think I told you this before. I had an incident that happened like that. Similarly. So we was out one day. And I had a client to go take care of or whatever. And as I was approaching my destination, I kept trying to find it, but it was like it wasn't showing me where it was on the map exactly. And I kept trying to find it. And I was like, yo, I don't know where this location is. Like, where is this place? So we're driving around there, trying to drive around the neighborhood and all this other stuff, and still couldn't find it. So we decided to just like, okay, let's just stop by this local Dollar General that we've been by before, because we got to build a relationship with the manager there. So we said let's just stop by, show our face, say what's up. So we stop in, and I stop in, we say hey to him. I was like, hey, what's up? How you doing? And he knows the area pretty well. So I was like, hey, do you know where this address is? And he was like, I may. So he goes up front, try to talk to the cashier, and there's a guy that's checking out at the cashier. And he was like, hey, such and such, do you know where this address is? And dude was like, yeah, I know the address. He said, that's my address. And that's my mom. And I was like, wow, that's crazy. Cause
Amazing. I love it.
it was just wild because that made me realize, like, you know what? We're always being guided in some way, shape, or form. Like,
Yep.
there's no doubt that we're being guided divinely by a higher source than ourselves. Um, Funny enough, though, right? When I walked in the store, I didn't mention this part, but when I walked in the store and I was walking like past the aisles, the same guy that said that was his address, it sounded like he was on the phone, but he was like saying like hello. He was like hey, 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 and then I looked because it caught my attention. I didn't know he was on the phone with somebody, but I looked and I didn't pay no mind after that. But that was really like I feel like that was the universe letting me know like, hey, this is the person you're looking for, but you don't know yet. But I'm just letting you know like bro, it's so crazy because I'm learning now to trust in this guidance, right? Even when I don't understand where it's leading me or where it's taking me, I'm just learning to trust and understand this guidance. So, um, how are you now trusting and understanding like the way you're being guided? I know you're still new within your journey, but how are you coming into a better understanding of how you're being guided?
And knowing that it's going to work out.
Mm, that is that is a fact. That is a
Yeah.
fact. You know, I've learned this too. This kind of ties into a point that I thought about as you were speaking.
Hmm.
I like that though. You say you don't overcomplicate it. You just trust your gut. You trust your body. You know that feeling. You just know it, and you know that when it comes up, that there's an indicator of okay, I'm in the right direction. So
Yeah.
that's key. And I feel like what's really important is understanding that there's always going to be another opportunity waiting for you, even if you feel like you missed another one, right?
Yep.
Abraham talks about this a lot too, and I found it interesting because I was listening to it this morning, and it was like, even if you feel like you missed the boat, there's always going to be another one, and another one, and another one, and another one, because the way it works is like the universe is conveying like paths of least resistance through you, right? You're the
Yep.
conductor or you're the instrument, and literally the universe is just working with you to bring you towards that path that is the least resistant for you to take in order to get you towards that next destination, essentially bridging the gap. And I feel like I find it always in the conversations that I have, and they just end up being so free flowing. And some concepts I come up with, it's like, where did that come from? Like, even this right here, what we're doing, I was just like, where did this come from? Because I didn't know where this was going. I didn't know what to expect when this all started. But it's a process, and you just have to enjoy it, and you just have to allow the universe to work through you, and for your greater good, right?
Hmm.
Um, yeah, yeah. Oh man, this is powerful. This is really good. This is really good. I'm telling you, they always they're always uplifting. So the universe is always working through you. and always delivering to you different opportunities. Have you ever had opportunities pass up, but then you realize that maybe that wasn't the best thing for you at the time? Because I say that because I used to look back on different things in my life, and I always wondered like, dang, if this had happened, maybe this would have happened. But I know that's just some regret, and I don't like to live in that. So I
Mm-hmm.
always recognize like, in order for you to understand a good opportunity, you've had to pass up a few. Um, and that's something that I've always lived by because it gives me more gratitude for the opportunities that do present themselves when they do. So, what has allowed you to just build up the gratitude that you now have, and how are you now recognizing the opportunities in your life?
Like this, even questionnaire thing you were doing,
Yeah.
things, and now we're nothing. Every
Yeah.
person I come across.
That's all. I'm glad you say that too because I want to give you your flowers, right? And this is why. This is the thought that came to me, right? Um, the reason why these are so important, and I would say this: the reason why these are so important is because look at what it's grown to, right? Like when I first started off doing these like on my own, they were what they were. But I feel like the universe knew that I needed something to kind of push to that next level because for me, it's like if I'm doing it just for me by myself, whatever the case is, it's going to be what it is. But if you
Yeah.
incorporate other people within it, now there's a standard that has to be upheld. And now it's like when we do these lives, I take them seriously and I know that I need to be showing up in the best way and I need to make sure that this is being shown and presented in some of the best ways. So, like this right here, this is not like this whole setup right now. This is more than just me. This is a collective. So, you deserve the praise the most for what's going on right now. I just wanted to give you your flowers on that real quick. Cause
No, this I feel like it's all you. I feel like and you know me, I will forever be thankful for us connecting. You coming to me and being like, hey, I have an idea, and then from there, I was like, oh, universe, it's like that. You're just gonna send me this beautiful soul to work with. Say less, say less. So I love that. I feel like the person said, okay, stop talking.
Nah, it's a fact though. This is truly something special, and whatever it turns out to be, it is what it's gonna be. But I know it's gonna be great because I always say like, yo, this is something I don't know what it is yet. I don't see the full vision, but I have like, it comes to me in spurts. It's like, okay, do this, do this, do this. I'm telling you, just trust me. It's going to be great. That's all I hear, and
Yep.
just trusting the process of it all. I wanted to ask you too, because I was looking at some old videos that we did before, and you said something, and I kind of want to see where your mind is now. You said that at one point you used to just try to like take.
Can you turn down your? Is that what that is?
It might be. How's that? Too low?
Well, now I can barely hear you. But it was like an echo.
How's that?
That's better.
That's better? Okay.
Oh, but I can hear me.
Hold on, I'm going to turn yours down too. Say something?
Oh. What?
Okay. Alright, is that better?
Can I hear myself? Yes, I can still hear myself. I'm fine.
Alright, bet. I had to turn them down a little bit. It's a little loud, and I get loud when I get passionate. Oh Lord. But yeah, oh yeah. So you said that at one point you would like take in all of this like this negative energy and try to transmute it, but it didn't work out for you. So now that you're in this space now, because I feel like your mindset has shifted since then. Now that you're in this space, how do you feel about that now? Like, are you still kind of like, okay, I'm gonna try to absorb all of this energy and try to transmute it into something else, or how's that shifted for you?
So I think the difference is now that I can't do that, but I know that I have.
I can imagine. That's dope. That's really dope. Um,
Yeah.
I feel like that's how it is though when you're in this process in the beginning. Like you want to go out and you want to help everybody that you encounter, and you got to understand that you can only help people at the level that they want to be helped. You know, you can only help people at the level that they want to be helped. Because you honestly, I've tried it before. I've tried to like bring people in on these type of things, but it was just too much. Cause and it wasn't that it was too much, but the concept was like I was already like in another zone on another level,
Mhm.
and a lot of people haven't really caught up to that level yet. Now it's starting to like, okay, I see what you was doing, but at the time it was just like I was really ahead of myself. I didn't really know it at the time, but I was really ahead of myself. But I dumbed myself down, and that kind of hindered my growth a little bit, just a little bit, only because I felt like I needed to scale back and try to figure this thing out from a different perspective before just taking it to that next high level, like just like that. So
Mhm.
um for me that's just one of the ways that I've been able to like utilize my energy, and now I'm starting to understand how to transmute it. Like, I don't know if I ever told you this concept, but somebody has said you have to live life like a tree in a sense, right? You have to be like how trees are, how the universe is, how the earth is, because literally, grounding is a technique that basically takes all the negative ions from your body that you have stored up, right? And the earth takes those same negative ions and utilizes it in some shape, some way, shape, or form. Whether it's like through photosynthesis or through putting more oxygen into the atmosphere. Whatever the case is, it utilizes that negative energy for something better. And I'm starting to understand that and starting to take certain things from my environments and utilizing them for the better. A friend of mine actually asked me a question when I told him that, and he was like, "Well, doesn't that get tiring though? Like, don't you ever get like drained, or don't you ever get like fatigued or exhausted from trying to do that?" And yes, at first, because like you, I was just absorbing different energies, and I was just like, "Why do I feel this way? Like, I have no
Yeah.
reason to feel this way. Like, this is not my, these aren't my emotions. I know they're not. So why am I feeling this way?" So I had to understand, and I think through meditation and patience and journaling, I began to understand how energy works for me. And I begin to understand, like, okay, I can take any type of energy and I can make it into whatever I want because I understand my power and how creative I am. So I can take any situation and just make it great because God has given me everything that I need within me to create everything that I desire. And that's really the approach that I've been utilizing for quite some time now, and it's been working. It's been working. I will say there's some days where it's like, you transgress, but still it's always progressive. It's always progressive.
Progress, not perfection.
Mm, progress, not perfection. Non-resistance. Being non-resistance is really the key. I think that
Hmm.
is something that's not spoken about a lot. Let me ask you something. Um, how do you feel when you're in a resistant state? Because for me, I understand like there's things that are uncomfortable and then there's growing pains. And in some sense they both kind of feel the same. Like when you're growing and you're doing something that's uncomfortable, you may think it's something that's come to harm you, but really in reality it's come to grow you. Versus like, and that kind of makes you resistant in a sense, especially in the beginning stages. But how have you been able to identify growing pains versus something that is kind of hindering you or kind of holding you back, or something that you're holding on to that's not serving you? Like, how do you identify that?
That's a really good question. I'm thinking. I would say
Yeah, growing pains versus things that are like holding you back, like things that you're holding on to that are holding you back.
oh, Oh, so you challenging things. For me, for what is
Huh? You good?
good?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, figuring out the things that have been holding.
Mm, that's good. That's good. That's really powerful. Um, yeah, that's really powerful. My bad. I'm doing a lot right now. Can you hear me? Is there an echo?
Yeah, you're kind of low though.
Mm, how about now? Better? Worse?
About the same.
Got the same? Okay.
A little bit better.
All right. How about now? Good? That's good?
It didn't change. It was still the same. So I don't know.
Okay. All right. Someone keeps
You're
telling me that you're muted, and I don't know why. So, it's like it's
that
going.
I'm muted?
Huh?
Oh.
Oh, okay, okay. I'm okay. I see what I did wrong now. So every time you speak, I mute it because it's like an echo, and then when I
Right.
like when I mute myself, it's muting the whole live, so you can't hear nobody. Yeah.
So they're not hearing me.
No, they hear you now. I got it unmuted, but every time I
But
like,
when I'm talking, they're not hearing me.
yeah, no, they can hear you now. They can hear you now.
Well,
But
now, but I'm not talking.
yeah, but you just look, the point is when every time I would mute my mic, it muted your mic on the live.
Yeah, so they're not hearing me. They weren't hearing me when I was talking.
They caught the last tail end of what you said.
Oh, shoot.
Sorry. But it's okay. We got recordings, so I can post it later. Sorry, this is technical difficulties. Okay. All right, but we're good now. We're good now. I forgot what I was gonna say. Um, oh yeah, you said
Growing pains and
growing pains and overcoming non-resistant thought. Okay, so that's really good. That's really good. Understanding the things that are designed to grow you out of your comfort zone. And I feel like, especially with this, because you say that you're, when it comes to technology, you may not be the most savviest, but I notice like the things that um that you share and post, and it's like pertaining to technology. And I think that's important too, because a lot of people they shy away from the things that they're weakest at, because they think like, well, I don't need to learn this, or it'd be a waste of time, or whatever the case is. But you decided that nah, this is something that is important. Um, and that's something that I'm still learning too, as far as like technology and everything. Like I seem like I got it, but there's still so much that I don't know. And I'm just the type, I like to tinker with things. I like to try new things. And that kind of leads me to what I wanted to say, kind of pertaining to like failure, right? I think that failure has a negative connotation to it because a lot of people think that, oh, if you fail then it's over. And I feel like the narrative of failure is now starting to change because people are now doing more and taking more calculated risks and,
Yep.
you know, going for the things that they desire, even if, you know, the outcome may not be as they want, but they still go for it anyway. So for me, like even with this right here, it's kind of like a trial and error type thing. I mean, this is something new. I was playing with it for the past few days, just trying to understand it. But I knew that I wouldn't really understand it until we actually got into the trenches of it to really see what it does.
All right.
So a lot of this is really trial and error and learning and understanding and growing. But most importantly, I feel like it's teaching patience because I've done it so many times where I would do things like this, but then I would stop because I didn't see the result of it. But then
Mm-hmm.
something happens down the line and it makes me realize like, oh wow, I got this from just staying consistent at that. So I need to really get back into that because it transmuted or transitioned into something else as well. So when it comes to failure, first off, have you ever had to deal with like failure, or did you ever have like a bad relationship with failure? And if so, how did you overcome it?
Um, Damn, that's a good question. Failure. Not that I'm failed. Gosh, I think it's more of my relation, how I see it. Like I like to see so much. Um, Not in everything. Human, I get down about things. Um, the thing super super huge that I didn't even think of because see the good that came out of the things that have happened that didn't come out or didn't go the way I wanted it to go. Um, and through that, I'm grateful for those moments. Without that, I wouldn't have any great thing. Like there's the flow of sometimes you're up, sometimes up, you have to step back up. So it's like I have to be grateful for grateful for one. You know, all about great appreciating what I have where I am. So I think switching the word failure to oh I tried this and ended up learning this is more of a positive way to think about it because that's what it is.
Mm,
Failure that it has such a bad connotation to it. It makes you feel bad because that's just the word that has been programmed into it. Like, oh, you failed. You failed the class. You failed the relationship. You fail at life.
mm,
Like no, like we're infinite. Like I get many tries actually. Um, as long as I take that lesson and keep it pushing. Like
mm,
I failed here, but when that opportunity presents itself again, I might fail again, but it'll be a new lesson and it won't be the same one that I went through first time.
mm,
But that's because I grateful for it and took the lesson out of not getting it right that first time.
mm,
So that's my take on it. Not that I don't fail. Of course I fail. If you know me, I'm very childish. I'll take nothing serious. Like I struggle with things like that, but I'm really good at being grateful for the things that I come across in life. So
mm,
failure, change the vocabulary that you use around the word, and I promise you, a lot will start changing for
mm.
sure.
I like that. I like that. You know, and that's something that you don't discover like immediately. It happens over time. So,
Like, can you turn
uh,
yourself up?
yeah. There we go. How's that?
Yeah, better.
Better. Okay. All right. So yeah, that's really powerful. And like I said, I know that that's something that doesn't happen overnight as far as like understanding failure. So how long did it take for you to like pivot, like when you failed? Because I know for me, when I failed, I took it personal and it stuck with me for a while, and I had to learn to overcome that and just accept the fact that hey, it is what it was, move on and do better. How long did it take for you to actually pivot from like certain failures?
I feel like I learned that. Like in high school, um, I was like a straight A student, did really good, did all the things, college and did the whole shebang, was with my sweetheart, like doing the whole thing. I had it all together. Then dropped out of school. Years, a couple years down, the relationship kept working out, and so I was very early in my 20s, like, ah, none of this has worked. Everything that you're supposed to do, I was doing, and it didn't work. So I had to learn that. It was like what, my early 20s, where life kind of hit me. I was like, oh, it's not about what they say. You're about you doing what you want. Um, and learning to take that situation, the love that was shared, relationship, the things that I learned about myself, putting those into a back lesson and taking that as about my way, found my here where I am now. So it started at a pretty early age where I learned that I couldn't carry those L's with me. They get real heavy like that. I keep telling myself I failed, did that at this. Well, no, this just didn't work out, but learn from it. So now take that and keep moving. So very early, kind of learned. Great
That's
word.
that's dope. That's dope. I wish I would have learned that sooner because I honestly didn't realize
It
that.
wasn't fun to learn.
Nah, no, it really wasn't. It really wasn't. It was, golly. I'm just grateful that I know now. That's all. I'm just grateful
Exactly,
that I know.
exactly. That negative talk and all that you have going on in your mind when you're that lesson, it can get ugly.
You know what though? I learned this, right? I feel like those feelings that you feel are just indicators letting you know how great you are because if you didn't have a sense of greatness, I don't think that those feelings would bother you as much. Right? Like if you
Yeah,
didn't know that you were destined for something great, like you just didn't feel you feel like you're special, but you don't know at what yet. Those feelings wouldn't
yeah.
hit you as hard as they do. Yeah.
I completely agree.
That's that's dope. That's powerful. That is powerful. Um, that is powerful, and I think that kind of stems back to not only failure but objections as well. And a lot of us get rejected for many things, whether it be like a job or a relationship or just anything that we're passionate about and we get rejected on, it can kind of stem from the failure process as well because you'll think like, oh, because I got rejected that must mean I'm a failure or whatever the
Yeah.
case is. So I guess did you take the same approach too when it came to like if you got an objection or you got rejected for something, or did you kind of took the same approach?
Yes, actually, I feel like very much like no, seriously. I had a friend who referred me for his like the same job he was doing. He had been in it longer, and just there were benefits to it and everything. Something I did not need to be applying for. First of all, let's start there. But I was like, I can do anything. Like I'm great. I'm a fast learner. I'm very smart, good person. Easy. Um, did the interview, did the second interview, didn't get the job, and I was like, oh, that hurt my feelings a little bit. But you know what? That means that there's a job out there that I'm supposed to get, and if I had got this one, I would have missed out on that opportunity. And lo and behold, now I have the job that I have. This was like the beginning of the year, so that was this year, and I'm in the job that I have now, where I'm able to learn so many things, do great things that I will be grateful. And honestly, I this is my first time even thinking about that job that didn't want to hire me until since it happened. That's how that's how fast I was like, must be something better out there, and something was better out there. So I have to be grateful. Everything's always working out for me. I be trying to tell people, but they don't believe me.
Everything is always working out for you. That's so true. That is so true. Let me ask you something too, right? This kind of
Oh,
all
you gotta
ties in
turn up.
together, huh? Oh, turn up,
You
turn
gotta
up,
turn
turn up.
yourself up.
There we go. My bad.
Sorry.
I gotta control the levels.
Yeah, you're like these.
Yeah, I'm over here DJing right now. But so another thing that kind of ties into all this, right, is quitting. And I said something about quitting before, and I feel like that kind of has a notation, a connotation to itself too. Um, I feel like we stay with things for too long because we feel like, well, I'm not a quitter, so I'm just gonna like just make it work, or you stay at a job that you don't like, but you're just like, I'm not a quitter. I'm not gonna quit because, you know, I just gotta make it work, or whatever the case is, right? Even with relationships. When do you think is a good time to like quit something, or I guess a better way to say that is, do you think that quitting is a good thing, or when do you think is a good time to actually to say like, all right, it's time to move on to something new, or whatever the case is?
I mean, I think it's all subjective. It depends on the person, on the situation. Do you have a why in this, or is it just something that you want to do? Is it just something that you wanted, wanted?
Mm.
That's what you decided so long ago, and you're um. For me, I'm struggling with that, where I'm like, no, like, what do you mean? Like, I'm in this, but then I've had to realize sometimes you hit that point, and learning that point for me is crucial. And when it's time to say, oh, okay, it's time for me to walk away. This has been too much. This is not what I actually want. Maybe one version of me did, but I'm no longer that person. And it's no longer serving me. It's no longer serving you. Um, and so having that discernment why is really important before we say whether we should quit or not, because that brings in our intuition, our gut feeling, how we really feel about it. If the thought of being done with it feels way more, um, I don't know how to say it, um, feels like a much better route for you and gives you more comfort, maybe that's what it is. But if you're basing it off of superficial superficial feelings and objectives from other people outside of you, then maybe you should stay. It really just depends on where your self awareness is, what
Mm.
your why is, and where the decisions are coming from. So it's really a hard question, but it's all about knowing yourself. To be very honest, at the end of the day, that's really what it is. How well do you know yourself to say, um, this is something I really want, so I'm going to push through, or this isn't actually, this wasn't even something that I want anymore. Why am I continuing to push and try to do this thing, get this person or get this thing? So
Mm.
self awareness is key when it comes to walking away or pushing through to try to get something done,
Mm.
in my opinion. For me,
Nah,
so.
that's fact. Oh, turn up. There we go. Nah, that's
No, you're
facts.
good.
That's facts. I kind of had a similar situation like that before when I was doing network marketing, and I was doing it for like I think 2 years, and at some point it was like it just wasn't in my heart anymore. Even though I was doing good, I was making good money, people was coming in and stuff like that, but it was just like my heart just wasn't there anymore. And no matter how hard I tried to fight, it was like, nah, I'm gonna stick with it. I'm gonna stay with it. Just keep showing up. Just keep showing up. It's gonna get better. It just didn't get better. And I'm just like, dang, maybe it's time to move on to something else. But at the same time, I had already developed this philosophy like, you don't quit. You don't give up. You just keep going because it's gonna get better. But I think that there are some times there comes times where you do have to just let it go in order to have something else better come into your life. And I call that pivoting, right? Because we have to learn how to pivot quickly in order for us to transition into the life that we truly desire and see for ourselves. Because I think God places us in certain places, in certain positions, in certain people's lives for a reason. because there's a lesson that we have to learn. But um, I think when it's time to transition, and that looks so different for everybody, but when it's time to transition, you will know exactly what that transition is and how you should go about doing it, because I feel like it's something that just doesn't leave you, right? Like you said it earlier, you learn how to trust your gut, trust your body, trust your feelings, trust that you're being guided. And I feel like that guidance is something that just never leaves you, because if it's time for you to transition into the next, then you'll just know. So that's really good. I like that. That's really powerful. These topics are always powerful, and honestly, these just kind of came off the dome. I mean, I had stuff written here, but I was just
You're
like, nah,
so
let's just,
good.
huh?
I said you're so good.
I
Like
do, I do my best.
transitioning to new. It's always. I feel like it's always something.
It is. It typically is sometimes, but I try to keep it. I try to keep everything in the same spectrum, in the same realm, because I know all of it ties together in some way, shape, or form. Because everything I feel like we talked about all comes back to what we said in the beginning, and that is, I forgot what we talked about in the beginning, but it all kind of coincides within each other. But yeah, this has been awesome. This has been an hour, 30 minutes. Sorry everybody for the technical difficulties. We're still working out the bugs and the kinks in this thing. So, um, yeah. How you feel? How you feel right now? You good or?
I feel really good. I actually, I'm gonna when we get off here, I'm gonna write some more. I think I might be done thinking some writing might be
You gonna do some writing?
probably sit outside for a little.
Hmm.
How about you?
I don't know yet. It's a beautiful day, and I got off early, so I got some stuff to work on. I got some content to work on. Like you, I got uh to work on my logo, my brand, and stuff like that. So there's that. Okay, you gotta end it with a poem, one of your poems,
With what?
with a poem.
I knew, and you know what? I knew you were gonna say that, so I so that I could read it. My poem drama.
Okay.
That's it's so funny how I learned to know you. Okay, you ready?
Yep.
Am I ready?
That's the real question.
Right. Okay. I sprinkled love on my being. Now I feel like I can. My anger comes with love. My sadness comes with love. My pain comes from fear, but my happy is all. I may joy my baseline, so I know which way to. The emotional roller coaster of life, the boat of my emotion, embracing the calm, having grace through the. I found a way, in lower vibrations.
Hey, that was fire. That was
Thank
lit.
you,
That was good. That was good.
thank you. I wrote that in March.
Ooh. I'm pretty sure there's more to it, right? More to it, right? That felt like it could have gone on for.
Oh, it could have. I just have pieces of poems, and I haven't. Like I get bits. Like I'll wake up in the middle, just like write down like 3 lines and go back to sleep. Like so, I'm still like, yeah, it comes to me in a really weird. So I'm still trying to like keep. And some of them are longer, intimate, um, but that's just one of the ones. At before we start our lives. So
Mm,
thank you.
that's awesome. That's awesome. Man, look, this has been a phenomenal moment. The moment, the present moment. This has been a phenomenal present moment. Tears. I'm telling you, that was awesome. That was awesome. Look here, this has been exciting. Again, thank you so much for being on this journey with me. Thank you for allowing me to be on this journey with you. I truly believe we do better when we grow together. So let's continue to grow one another. If you found this helpful, inspiring in any way, shape, or form, make sure you go check us out. Check me out at Instagram at Paula Zay Anthony, TikTok, fan base here on YouTube as well, all at Paula Zay Anthony. Um, if you want help and clarity and more understanding on how to overcome obstacles and to step into your greatness, then just DM me on any of the social media platforms. Just DM me the word purpose because I got a free gift for you, right? Also, the course is pending. It's loading. So just be on the lookout for that. The Formula for Greater Mindset 2.0. Working on that. Let me tell you something, right? Working on these courses have really brought out a different aspect of me because I've tried to build courses in the past, but it never worked out. And now I feel like I'm in this new space and it's like the way I'm creating and the way my thought process is going right now, I'm just like, yo, this is whew, look here. I'm gonna keep the price fair, but just so you know, it's a steal.
Get in while you can.
I'm telling you, it's a steal. But yeah, we're gonna have that. Be on the lookout for more of these right here as well. These lives are super important, super important. You don't want to miss out on these conversations because they are powerful and they always have some sort of insight that you can take away from and that you can extract and utilize in your own life. So don't miss out on the conversations. These conversations only get better and better every single time. And I'm gonna tell y'all one thing, y'all better tap in early because when we blow up and we charge admission for you to get in on these conversations, you're gonna be like, dang, I should have been there from the beginning. But hey, for the ones that are rocking with us now, we appreciate y'all. You know, y'all are why we do what we do. And yeah, that's my closing remarks.
Ooh, that was a lot. Well, as always, I'm so grateful to be here and for sharing with us. Be on the lookout for actually working on mock-ups, for my a couple of t-shirts. So once I get those samples looking how I want them to look, then I will be posting and then open my page, which has been it's been online. I just don't have any content. So once I get that all together, that should be coming out. I will post that. Follow at Little Sweet Tea on TikTok or 710 on Instagram. Is that and again, I'm so grateful for that self love. Self is the first step to going on the journey. Care about how you feel, go within, and then shine your light outward. Y'all share.
Mm,
Thank you for joining. We'll see you
awesome.
next time.
Until next time, y'all.